should be a map that 123 feels more comfortable with. Just again, going back to their previous set, they won Oasis 3-0, and they weren't very close 3-0s. They absolutely dominated on control, but you know, some maps just aren't other teams' flavor, so maybe Nepal will show up a little bit different. We saw some Bastion earlier, and ZP called Bastion the uncle that you don't like spending time with only on the holidays. Really almost put me to tears because I totally am that uncle.
All right. Yeah. So to bring it back to the game, because I die over here. Excuse me. Is that? Nope. Hex, take it away.
All right, I got this one. No problem. Solo cast incoming. He might actually be dying. Can we get a medic? Medic. All right.
Victory is kosher.
Yeah, kosher medic. All right, I will order one right away. Oh man.
So yeah, speaking of Oasis versus Nepal, Oasis, like if you run a Reinhardt into that, it's really difficult to make Reinhardt work on Oasis when there's so much high ground to be fought for and so much high ground to use. We do see, okay, switch over to Winston here though, which is interesting considering that shows maybe they were feeling more comfortable with Reinhardt or they knew how or had a specific strategy to use Reinhardt on Hollywood versus now where they switched to Winston, but we'll see.
I think the biggest tell on what he's more comfortable with will be when we get to Village, because you can run a Reinhardt much more comfortably on Village than you can here. Just the walk up and the approach is way too long for Reinhardt to be getting up there and getting any of that done. So you need the Winston to be able to dive in. A quick cap, though, by Alfa, as they already have captured. Now they've taken out both DPS, and losing both of anything is brutal.
Yeah, and it looks like Big is actually just going to escape with 7 HP. Gets a sound barrier to help him out. But the thing is, he still has 7 health. He's finally being healed back up. I bet she will fall to tonic, though. So 1, 2, 3, even though they did lose the point, they're still fighting over this one. That's 20% now accrued for Alpha Squad. They do have a self-destruct, which they're going to be throwing in. That's out of Kodak. Who gets himself a kill to Cherry Dormy.
Yeah, they've stalled this out long enough that Snillo gets back in here, and now with all their DPS back in full fighting force, they should be able to evict the last members here. But because of that really early cap, the sneak cap, while the fight was still going on, third of the map already done.
Yeah, so honestly, Alpha Squad looking pretty good so far, and making 1, 2, 3 have mistakes here in this match so far. That was
you're the worst. You are not intended. Literally the worst.
That's what Reddit says. But now Lolly coming into the underground. He does have that post bomb ready to go, trying to look for that D-suit. This is what we see out of a lot of Korean teams, Korean players and Korean tracers. Because you want to get that D-suit onto the Diva, allow Big Goose on your team to really make something happen when he doesn't get obstructed by anything.
Yeah, it's the most important part. The rest of Diva kind of takes care of itself eventually, but just get her out of suit. It's such a shutdown ability, such a shutdown hero, that you can't do much while she's still hanging out there. Gonna self-destruct now, but they're unable to find the kill. Their tonic actually goes down, and the Transcend a little bit late to save his friends. Trying to keep control of this point, though. They want to stall out as long as possible. Mistakes will find the opposing Zenyatta. Now both Zenyatta's out of the fight. And this is taking a while, but I think eventually Alpha will be able to take this back. Nope, Mistakes got other plans. Hits a double pulse bomb.
And then gets the pop shot to the head on Lolly, picking up that kill, and then the Diva's just gonna go to her own doings here off the map. 65%, so after the initial cap Alpha did have, once 1, 2, 3 has taken this back, they've been able to maintain it, but now they don't really have that many ultimates to use. They're gonna have Kodak in a few seconds here with the self-destruct, and Daniel with the sound barrier. But Alpha Squad, they have nothing to really retake it with. They need a little bit of time to charge Big Goose up for his visor. They need a little bit of time to get that post bomb ready.
They don't have it. They have to fight this next fight because it's gonna be about 82%. And I mean, with Snillo taking out Big Goose, he's not gonna be able alive to even charge what he needs. I mean, that's 3 kills right away. Unfortunately, they did not really have anything to fight when they needed to fight the most. Cherry knocked out a suit. It is really only Lolly who's got a tracer ready to go. And it's just all too late. The timing of the economy being so broken there hurt them so badly.
That's what happens when you commit so much to a take, right? Is that if it doesn't work out, we're not really looking at one fight after that you're going to be screwed for. It's the next 2, maybe even 3. Considering they're already 60% in on actually having the point, you're pretty much just saying goodbye to that first map. But either way, we're moving on to Village now. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a change up in these rosters. Maybe see some Pharah, which has always been very strong. Maybe see some Bastion. I wouldn't complain to see some of that.
He's always been good on this stage. In this map, he has his roles sometimes as tank buster. We saw him in the previous set, which was fun to see some Bastion, for a little bit, and then, go back home, Uncle Bastion. Ake is going to stay on the Reinhardt, or stay on the Winston rather. I thought this would be the stage we'd see him on the Reinhardt. If you want to run a couple tanks, you can just go right to house and post up there behind the shield. But I mean, against the dive comp that you see, it's nigh impossible to play an effective Reinhardt.
We're going to see, it looks like both teams trying to push for that initial high ground control. And typically I've seen for most games, whoever gets that initial high ground typically wins that first fight. Just because the position that you have, a D.Va can't cover so many different areas with that defense matrix or that initial space in front of her. That DC will come through. Looks like Mistake's been able to pick himself up 2 kills. And Big Goose is going to eventually shut him down, but not before losing on to too many people on his own team. Alfa is still chipping away at them. 1, 2, 3 getting very low on quite a few different people.
Yeah, Tonic will come in on the cleanup. As much as we talked about mistakes, I mean, I talked about Tonic opening this too. Just the final damage that you need, clean up some kills, but also the wherewithal to get out with his life. Very smart play there. They will grab the first capture point here on Nepal's village. And I mean, I don't think we were wrong in hyping up mistakes. He has just been crushing it. Got another bomb up, doesn't even need to get in there as the dive comes through, helps him out. Snillo was able to clean up some of those fights too, gets out with his life just barely, but during all that, they got pressured off the point, taken over by Alfa.
Yeah, and Alfa actually looking to maintain control of this one, but that's even sound barrier being popped, and the Dragon Blade of Snillo, who just hasn't been able to get a single kill off of this, but he's going for the chase. He's at least delayed the ability to defend this one as Big Goose. I think that was Lolly kind of ran directly into that blade, but the point's still being held for Alfa.
Yeah, and now they will take the advantage for the first time percentage-wise here as it crawls up over top. Kodak able to take down one of his own, and there's just not enough in here to be able to get them off of the point. Some nice kills from Tonic as he gets the Primal Rage onto both Dormy's mech and the squishy underbody that is the pilot of D.Va. And they will be able to grab the point back here. Surprising that Alfa was able to, the last times, even the previous stage that Alfa took the point back, it's kind of sneaky and unexpected. It's not like they won a dominating fight and just camped on the point. It was, they're brawling, and for some reason 1, 2, 3 finds himself off the point somewhere else. So it's just, even though the scores have been closer in this control, it has mostly been 1, 2, 3.
No, I definitely agree with you here. And oh, look at this, they're trying to catch out onto Big Goose here. Will eventually fall from the backside. Mistakes again, pick it up and kill the point. It's about halfway being captured so far as everyone else is retreating back to this to make sure it does not go the way of Alpha Squad, but there's just too much red there. There's just too many people, I feel like, and they're forcing him off the point here. The post bomb is going to get the DC on the Kodak, who's eventually going to fall to Ake playing bubbles here, and that kills are still coming through towards the way of Alpha Squad.
Well, see, this is more of a straight-up fight rather than sneaking onto the point, and they've just won it on pure mechanics, mostly on their Tracer at the end, very much cleaning up and able to take the Tracer versus Tracer battle against mistakes. So this has been closer than I expected, honestly, given just looking back at the previous control map of Oasis, excuse me. Sorry, I'm rebooting Hex.exe.
No, I was actually wondering if you caught the bubble reference. Michael Jackson's pet monkey that he has.
Oh, Bubbles!
Yeah.
Oh, poor Bubbles.
Stretch. He hates cameras now. He gets really angry when he sees cameras.
So do I. I mean, that's why I have to glance away whenever we're on camera here. I'm fine in-game, but you have no idea. They have to restrain me whenever we're off camera so I don't go knock over the very expensive equipment that's been invested in the studio. Blade will come out from Snillo, goes for the Zenyatta, does find him, but meanwhile his own Zenyatta has been taken down. He gets chased up into the high ground and eliminated. And this has been very, very close. Alfa has been pulling this off. 1, 2, 3, back against the wall. The silver lining for them, though, is they can initiate with Sound Barrier. They've got a stall tactic and Primal Rage. And Mistakes has Pulse Bomb, and he's been hitting 2 people most of the day with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, he has Pulse Bomb, but with what he's been able to do with this so far today, there's definitely a chance here for 1, 2, 3 to take this back. Let's get the self-destruct catching out Bach, pulling the J-Cap yet again here as he will die. And Blade's being popped by Big Goose. Looks like actually Alpha Squad with the man advantage looking really good to take this point. This Mistakes is already dead.
Yeah.
Daddy is fallen as well. And it's just Snillo and Tonic, the last 2 alive.
So we're looking for who could be the standout player on this Alpha Squad team, and I think the fact that he's peppered in some of this good Genji play, I mean, I am looking at Big Goose a lot now. Also, pulling a J-Cap, like, it reminds me of, remember in like the mid-90s where everyone had a doing the, you know, kind of like dance routine, like doing the Bartman?
Yeah.
What would doing the J-Cap look like?
Well, you probably have to put on a clown nose, first of all, and do some sort of dance where you trip over yourself and fall and break your arm. But still, out of all of that, you come on with a lady.
Yeah, I mean, that is the advantage of being JCap. So despite all the torment that is your life,
Not only do I have a big nose, I also have a big ego.
you sure do. You sure do. I thought I was the narcissist. Isn't that established? Is this dueling narcissism up here?
Is that a thing? Can we make that happen?
I mean, I don't even need to battle with you. I'm clearly the better narcissist.
All right.
That's how it
Probably
goes.
sleep at night, or doesn't sleep at night. Lately.
Oh, don't mention the word sleep. It's just gonna knock me out like I'm hypnotized. It's been a rough stay for me here as I try to get Winkles in. They do battle on the bridge, coming right across. Defense matrix already up. Nick mitigates a lot of that damage. Both Bubbles already down on the bridge too. Now that's all I can think of now is Bubbles when I say that.
I know, right?
Thanks a lot for tainting my mind.
ABC.
Still bloodless. As the Bubbles come off cooldown again. Big Nose almost messes that up and goes into the drink, but now the first kill comes across and Zenyatta action.
I think Gillfrost heard that. Big nose.
Oh man, that's that is your fault. That is completely your fault. I'm sorry, I love you,
See,
but
I'm already in your head.
I'm
already in your head, man.
Well, you were already in my heart, so you might as well come back in my head. I'm really sorry, Jason. You started it. You started it.
Well, Big Nose on the Genji here. He's like 90% on his ultimate as they capture the point.
I'm dead. Take it.
Big X is gone here. Either way, Big Goose could be looking to lock down this choke point with that blade. He also has the back of a Sound Barrier and a Transcendence soon too, so they have the ability to stall out these support ultimates. Just whether or not they can make mistakes, use his pulse bomb, because that's going to be the big opener for them. But just I speak about it, Snilla picks up a kill into Lolly, getting too aggressive, and Alpha Squad, they're going to be flanked by mistakes.
Yeah, and guess it forces out the Transcend as he was discorded. Big Goose comes with the dash through on Denia and Bach. Big Goose gets himself a second kill. Big Goose gets himself a third kill. I need to retrain my brain. Actually, I thought it was so much worse because you both looked at me wide-eyed. I'm like, I'm fired now, right? I don't know what I just said, but I'm fired.
That's all good here. Anyways,
right.
1, 2, 3 now with 4 ultimates to use. Didn't actually commit any into that last fight. We'll have the ability to go for the retake here. And look how much, space, how much real estate Alpha Squad's actually giving them here. The post bomb, it's not going to land on a Lolly, but he's going to be able to escape for now. That self-destruct coming through. He's going to catch Denia. Stop. I know you want to be like me, Denia, but you got to win this match. Opponent JCap's not how you do it.
It's just, I mean, he did fall down and break his arm, but I don't know if he's going to be finishing his JCap life as well as you have. There, a couple of kills will come across here. Alpha has definitely shown me a lot more on this map than I was expecting, but just as I say that, Visor opens up, Pulse Bomb comes in, they get a triple kill, quad kill, they will get this point rather easily. That's their first cap though, 77% for Alpha
That's
Squad.
pretty typical though, right? What we see on this point of Nepal. Like teams will get 90, 99%, many times, then lose the point, and then they'd have to try to retake it.
The entry's really hard, right? I mean, there's not really a good flank to come through because you're in like a very small hallway and is very easily spotted because of these windows. And coming through main, you're running into a brick wall. It's just a hard map to re-enter.
We're running into a Big Nose, as we're going to see here. Big Goose is going to fall to the self-destruct out of Kodak. Molly's going to be flanking back around here. I think Big Goose should maybe just, take a picture of that one, as it did fall to Kodak.
Yeah. I mean, really, anything you say now, I can't even make jokes with you right now. I'm uncomfortable with what I might say. But I mean, honestly, I've made worse jokes at your expense this week.
That's true.
And as you've had mine, so
we're equal now.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be, it looks like a post-out coming through, but the Transcendence is easily going to heal this one back up as Denia did pop his Sound Barrier on top of this just to make sure they can survive a little bit longer, but Taunt's already gone down here. Mistakes. He's still fighting on the point here. He's fighting a losing battle because he's being attacked from so different directions. Big Goose gets himself 2 big kills, and he's even looking for a third. He's going to go back towards this point, but it looks like Alpha Squad might be able to take their second point here in Nepal. This point should be going back the way as Ake picks himself up a triple kill.
Yeah, and it's going to be very difficult for 1, 2, 3 to get back here as it's going to be 80%, but we've seen miracles happen with Winstons and Primal Rages getting themselves back on the point, so they're going to wait, queue up a little bit. I mean, at 77%, they had a little more time to actually roll in here as a group, and now pretty much final fight unless they can flip this back over in their favor for 1, 2, 3.
Look how they wanted to focus down onto, Ake said going to the back line, immediately jumps with Tonic just to take him out of the equation so their backline's healthy. Chiradori picks up a kill. They get this Ardiso on the Kodak, most importantly, and he gets the resuit himself, and they still have a Sound Barrier to use, but they don't really need to invest it. Just at mistakes, he's going to fall. Big Goose picks himself up a double kill here, and 1, 2, 3 are going to lose out on the second point of Nepal.
He's been playing so well. He has definitely been their standout DPS, and usually it's the Tracer. By default, it is the Tracer in many cases. but his 76 was really good on Hollywood. I thought he had some of the best and biggest plays, some of the good decision-making we saw from him. And I think his Genji has been very good. As we saw in Hollywood, it was Genji-less. Genji's pretty good. I think he's a pretty good hero in this meta.
Big Goose, he's got like the hottest friends, and he goes to the chillest restaurants.
What is a chill restaurant, by the way? I want to know. It's like the anti-chill restaurant. There's nothing chill about Applebee's. Except the lovely bartenders, we found out.
And happy hour.
And happy hour.
If you're over 21.
I mean, one and the same.
Yep.
One and the same.
So moving back on the village here. Looks like Big Goose will stick to the Genji. On the side of 1-2-3, we're not seeing Silo flex into the Genji at all. He's been sticking to the Soldier for the most part. So they're trying to run more of a poke composition with him and Tracer. The problem is you're still lacking, I'd say, a decent amount of kill potential unless you hit a Helix Rocket and Mistakes is able to capitalize off that, which we know is more than capable of doing. But it seems like 1-2-3 just hasn't been able to pick these kills they're looking for.
Yeah, and they're really, really focused on shutting down the 76 because as rough of a set overall as it's been for Cherry Dormy, they're not going off it. They will let anyone else kill them except for a Soldier 76. And even though he's been demacked and beat up a lot of the time, Cherry Dormy refuses to give up on the Diva. First point capture for 1-2-3 as they sneakily go off to the side and grab that early on. Triple kill also does not help afterward.
I mean, we did see like a great little individual play by Cherry Dormy there. A brilliance where Big Goose had like a sliver of HP. Tried to dash over that little wall behind where Mistakes is looking, and he missed the dash. But Cherry Dormy was able to get the defense breaks on top of him to allow him to be healed back up so he didn't die in that engagement, which did give him a chance to go for the refight, but obviously as we can see on the scoreboard, it didn't really work out. But still, those little plays of brilliance out of a Diva really shows he has a defensive mindset instead of an aggressive mindset, which is allowing still a lot more free room.
It's very difficult to play Diva aggressively anymore. You kind of have to play her defensively. Your team needs you to play her defensively, I would say. The sound barrier comes in as they don't want to give up control at this point just yet, and that's going to buy them the time they need. But now the dueling transcends, but does not get there in time to save Ake. It's going to be a lot of space control that they don't have because the Winston is out of there. It does seem like 1-2-3 has repelled this attack.
Just so much damage not being done when there's two Transcendences or two Transcendi. I don't know what plural that is. I never figured it out. And then two defense matrices, or matrices. Matrices.
So close.
Yeah, so close. Almost nailed it. But there's just like no damage actually being traded in that because of the close proximity that you're actually fighting, because you're being tunneled into this tight area, and defense matrix can cover the entirety of this one. Unless you're Winston, then you're like, all right, sup, I don't really get attacked by that, but I also don't hurt you.
Well, looking for a giant pulse bomb. It sounded like it stuck, but I think it hit the outside of that wall, perhaps. Not able to get that. They try to put some pressure onto the point, and that is just the opposing Tracer down there. Mistakes are going to come down and bully him off a little bit.
I mean, that goes back to the 1v1, the TVT you're talking about, right? Between Lolly and Mistakes. It seems like Mistakes generally wins out on these trades, but for some reason, we did have Tonic come down to help him.
I don't necessarily... I feel that right now Lolly is getting bullied out a little bit. Like, he didn't even stick around long enough to start that Tracer v Tracer. Maybe it's because he saw the other person there as well. This does seem to be like the first decisive fight that will go in favor of Alpha Squad. It will, thanks off the back of Goose's blade. Able to get that one in there for a couple, as Genji has been very nice for them today. It's been actually kind of the backbone of how they've won fights. That's the first fight, but they cannot lose another one as 99% sits 1-2-3.
Yeah, so now ult management becomes very crucial here for both teams, or at least for Alpha Squad in particular, and realizing they cannot lose this fight once. If they lose this point, we'll be looking at 2-2 scoreline going into the fifth and final map here of Nepal. Snillo, again, not being pressured here towards the low-hand ground. Lolly trying to look for a Winston, looking for Tonic to eliminate him before the fight really begins. But again, the two Transcendences will be coming through. Still gets a decent, most importantly against Cherry Dormy, but Big Goose gets the kill.
He does, and they're going to trade out real quick, though, and it's so back and forth. Goose is going to town yet again. As I mentioned, he's been the carry for this team so far, but that is a heavy backpack to carry. He will finally fall. Unless a miracle happens here on a stall out and a reinforce, I don't see this quite happening for them, and I believe we will be going to a fifth stage of Nepal.
All right, so very different than what we did see last week, where it was a 3-0 on Oasis. Alpha Squad have definitely taken the time of this last week to figure out what we've been doing wrong, what we've been doing right, and let's see what we can do differently against 1-2-3. Because yet again, they can't qualify for Contender Season 1, but they can still make it trouble for 1-2-3, giving them second seed out of the group, but also gives a chance for Alpha Squad to make their name known.
Yeah, no one wants to go out on a losing note either, and you're right. I think they have done their homework because Hybrid and Control were the maps that 123 beat them on, or last time when it was 2-2, when it drew out. So if we end up going to Assault, well, we will end up going to Assault and then Escort, Alpha Squad could put together a really nice set to close out their Contenders run.
Well, Big Goose again going to be on the Genji. We're still not seeing 123 flex into this at all, sticking to what they've been running, but then again, it's not been as convincing as I guess they've hoped for it to be.
I look at the matchup to be very likely Goose versus Snillo here. The Genji should be able to check the 76. You don't want to leave him alone in the background. Of course, that was a problem for them on Hollywood. So we'll see how that one goes. Goose has been the carry. Mistakes on the other side has been a standout player too. So those are the two main DPS you want to look for.
Well, you can see Snillo, as you pointed out, I mean, he's just not really being attacked at all here off to the side. He's been at full HP, I think, the entire time. Been able to do a hell of a lot of damage. You see Big Goose as well, 50% on his ultimate. Ahead of Snillo, who's at 40%. Really kind of flexing for his team. And doing the damage, again, just don't necessarily do a ton of.
Another 0-kill capture by Alpha Squad as 123 just does not put a toe onto the point, does not stall it out at all, gives it up for absolutely free. Now they want to re-engage and being able to take down Ake helps, but eventually Snillo finds himself on the wrong side of Goose's blade, dashes through him, and I mean, this is not decisive enough to take it back just yet, but Mistakes comes in, gets a double kill. I don't think he knows what a single kill is. I don't think I've seen him in the kill feed once. It's just like, oh, here's 1 kill. It's always 2 and 3.
I thought post bombs are guaranteed 2 kills.
Yeah,
Mistakes.
Unfortunately, I know that is not true. Tonic comes in late with a couple of kills. They will eventually grab it back, but again, that's 30% that doesn't need to be on the point. It's not like Alpha dominated a fight and took it away. They just had better positioning and were able to push them back far enough to grab the point.
The thing is, it's funny because I know Alpha are going to be comfortable playing up close and in a position you necessarily wouldn't hold from just because they ran Reinhardt in Hollywood. They know how to play behind a shield, but they're still doing that even without the Reinhardt. I think they're showing some confidence here.
Well, absolutely. Here is Goose looking for a little bit more. He's going to be able to bully out the Tracer, finds himself in the backline, gives himself a nice dash and another nice finish with the help of the Discord Orb onto Snillo. He's been really the only one punishing him at all. Chiridormi tries to get out of the way. The self-destruct does just that, finds her way back in and get desuited again. Box starts going off and able to finish off Cherry with a headshot as well, but still not the decisive fight that Alpha now needs to take it back. This has been extremely back and forth so far. 1-2-3 with the advantage. Finally flip back over for Alpha. Anyone's game at this point, as the next time they fight, they're going to be dead even at about 50%.
And Ake got a quad kill there at the end too, just from the retreating kills that 1-2-3 was trying to run away from. So well done by that man. He's now at 40% on his Primal Rage. Lolly is looking for a big play. See if they go on the high ground.
I mean, take a moment to just admire the candles, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, also the information he's getting from the sound he's hearing just opens up a potentially big play unless somehow Kodak can eat this pulse bomb that's going to come down.
The Mistakes already starts off his day. Yeah, exactly. Very nice play there to get 2 kills on the incoming push. And it seems like unless something goes very wrong here, Alpha will hold on to this point for now. Does not seem like anything's going away. 1-2-3. Or yeah, excuse me, the other way around. 1-2-3 now brings it back. And as close could be. And I hate to repeat myself, not really.
I just love to hear yourself talk, let's be honest.
I do. And in fact, right now I'm not even watching the monitor. They've set up a full-length mirror for me to cast in. That is the depth of my narcissism.
I can see you making some blue still looks.
It's how I practice kissing. And so it's going to be about like 73% on both sides here. On the way in, a sound barrier comes off on both sides, and still, Goose finds Snillo. He has made his life very difficult.
Very indeed, and luckily, Den was able to get the kill back. The thing is, the kill feed's still going towards red here. Ake is trying to force back the enemy Winston here on the tonic to keep him away from this point, but he's got his own Primal Rage, so he has the ability to stop this point. But the thing is, they're not really winning out the fight just yet. That Transcendence has come in to buy them a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra HP. Ake's forced to now use the Primal Rage just to survive that pulse bomb. That 1-2-3 have fought him back. Yes, Alpha Squad have got the point, but it doesn't mean they're going to hold it.
No, it doesn't. It means that we're probably going to fight again when they're both at 92% if any of this holds here. And actually, they take it back right away. Does 1, 2, 3, 95%. Now there has to be desperation. They got to get on the point. The zoom in from the D.Va should be able to get there. Barely does. There goes a wayward Lucio. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a flying Lucio. Gets over the point. His self-destruct comes in. Does get one, which is helpful now with his desperation time. An interesting switch, given how good he's been at Genji. He might end up regretting this one, but they're getting a little bit of kills here, getting something going at least, but this isn't the point presence and stall presence that you really want.
Well, all it takes is 1 or 2 big kills here, and that D-suit is just not coming through, and the defense switch is really protected. Lolly's able to pair with him to get the kill on Adenia, but Snillo's still being alive. He's still being a nuisance, and with that tack price being used, Big Goose cannot just really peek this direction at all, and he will fall down right as no one's contesting the point, and 1, 2, 3 will take Nepal, but that was one hell of a struggle.
No easy task, and I think going back to it that
Scumbag Pots just ruining the kill screen.
It's like, I'm ruining the cast. Mistakes comes in, and this is no surprise. Comes in with a kill, and it's no surprise that is what I just said. But the double pulse bomb right there. Every time this man hit a pulse bomb, someone ran into someone else, and he gets a couple kills.
Well, he's got great positioning. He just really knows where to be able to do the maximum amount of damage, and you saw that come to bear right there. On the other side of things, Big Goose on Genji especially, they really unlocked him. And actually, you could see that 1, 2, 3, they knew that Big Goose was the target. They were focusing him down, and especially the first couple of points. And, well, he was on 76. He was a little easier to focus down. Switched to Genji, had a lot more purchase there.
Yeah, he had a lot more success in general with the Genji. I think the mobility really helped him out quite a bit. Obviously, Soldier's very mobile as well, but when you can climb walls as Genji, you can dash away, you can get the resets. I feel like he should just be playing Genji more often.
I agree, and it did seem like he had good coordination with his Zenyatta, because they would wait and let the soldier do what he wanted in the background, but then they call it dash, so that when the Zenyatta's in position, the dash comes through, Discord comes down, and then he gets the right click or the secondary fire onto him, was able to finish him like that a couple different times.
Yeah, well, they pulled it together, and they were able to find the victory here, so it's going to bring us to a 2-1 score going into our third map, and Alfa is going to be picking this one. We're going to be going to Assault, and one thing that we did see at the very end there is Big Goose on Widow. And we've seen that a little bit on both of these Assault maps, but especially on Temple of Anubis. Is this something that they